Hey everyone, welcome to Old Iron Garage and thank you for tuning in. In this video, we are going to just literally pick up right where we left off in the last video. I had to cut it short because if not, I could tell the video was going to run a lot longer than I intended it to. Yeah, anyways, without further ado, here we go. Let's pick up where we left off. Alright everyone, I'm back. I did a lot off camera. I decided to this video is going to be longer than I had wanted it to because of, all thanks to this non-floating float. It was actually still floating somewhat because until I tried to start the mower, the engine again, it ran okay. But, and it wasn't full. It only had a little bit in it. But, yeah, The only reason it wouldn't start after I had shut it off and then ended the video was because no spark again. So that I know that because I sprayed ether in it and no fire. It never even once tried to fire again. Anyways, so got that all ready to go. Got it all filed down real good. Sorry about that glare. There. Filed down, sanded down. It's ready to rock. I hope. And I got all the carburetor components that I have here clean. I am missing a linkage for the governor. I got to find out exactly what that is and get one. I probably have one here on that one mower that I robbed some hardware from. But anyways, oh. And another thing, when I had originally taken this carburetor apart a couple years ago, I noticed that this pin for the float was seized in the carburetor body. I was so worried about trying to get it out of there without breaking these off. The little things that hold the float pin. So I actually chucked that up in my screw gun and just took that Scotch-Brite pad I was using earlier on the float to put the screw gun on high speed and just zzz, and I just polished her up. So it's not crusty anymore. Anyway, let's assemble this carburetor. Actually, no, first. Amazon came. I have my my float bowl gasket, and I checked it against the old one, and they are the same size. So I have that. I'm going to need that. I also ordered a new spark plug. This is a Genuine Champion RJ17LM, which is what is supposed to be in that engine, the Tecumseh TNT 100, according to Google. I have basically like an electronic ignition coil. This is this and the bowl gasket are both, Chinesium parts. They are cheap aftermarket parts, but it's going to be good enough for who it's for. I have used a couple of these before, and I've had good luck with them. Zhongfatech. That's the brand. Zhongfatech. Something like that. Whatever. As long as it sparks. And there's actually a couple parts that I ordered a couple couple years ago off of eBay when I first brought this thing home because they were missing. Both are in this box. Only one is original to this box. I just stuck the other one in there for safekeeping, and the other one I stuck in there for safekeeping is an air filter. Correct air filter. This is a new old stock. It's not crumbling. I mean, it's showing a little age, but it's not crumbling, so this will work. Fits TNT 100 and TNT 120 models. If you're ever needing one for a TNT 100 or a TNT 120, you should be able to take, oh, where did I put it now? One from a TVS. Tecumseh. And cut it down. Here. It's about the same thing, just longer. You should be able to take that and cut it down. See, this one's just shorter. And this is a rotary brand. It's a aftermarket brand, kind of like Sten's or Organ, you know. And then what is in this box? None other than the air filter cover. Brand new one. It's the only one I could find. I could not find a used one in good shape. So, yeah. That's the part. This was missing. Kind of a major component. You know, it's it's not going to filter air without this on there on the box, and also I mean, cosmetically, it's kind of a major component. So there's that. Like, without that on there, there's clearly something very major missing. So yeah. Anyway, you know, actually, just get rid of the bubble wrap. Would you just there? And I'm gonna go ahead. Stick the coil in there and a spark plug, and that coil came with this El Cheapo Chinesium spark plug. Anchi spark plug company. Yeah, I'm not using that. I'm good. The Champion spark plugs I ordered came as a 2-pack. So I have another one to go on another Tecumseh that calls for that particular spark plug. Or, you know, any other small engine that calls for that spark plug. Alright, let's get cracking here. It is much later now, by the way. I did this really threw a wrench in my gears, guys. I was planning on having this thing like all together and running tonight. It is dark. It is probably, I don't know, 10 o'clock or later now. And I finally went inside to have, because the wife had messaged me a while before saying that she had made dinner for me. And I felt bad because I wasn't in the house yet. And I really wanted to be in the house by a decent time tonight and spend some time with the wife. And that didn't happen, but I at least want to get this wrapped up tonight. I was planning on having the whole thing back together and running, minus a muffler, which I'm waiting for it to come from eBay. I did find an OEM-style muffler, Organ brand, for a reasonable price. And the reason why I had to be OEM-style is because it goes out through, it comes out of the engine pointing downward, goes through a hole in the mower deck. But the hole in the mower deck is not perfectly centered around the hole for the exhaust port. It's slightly offset. There's only one muffler that fits that application. Just one. So it had to be the right muffler, otherwise I had to modify the mower deck, and I didn't want to do that. So anyway, that being said, let's assemble. Even though I'd already cleaned that out technically twice now, I believe, I cleaned it out again. Like I just, with carb cleaner, because I was doing other stuff on the bench. Did not want to take a chance at some little something getting in there and throwing another wrench in my gears. Yeah, that other one, the other O-ring, or the bowl gasket that I put back in, the old one, I'm surprised that didn't leak worse than it did. Like, it leaked a little bit, but I'm surprised it didn't leak worse than it did because of how bad a shape it's in. It really is in bad shape. Oh, I also made some gaskets off camera. Normally I'd take my time and make them a little nicer than this, but I was trying to hurry. I didn't bother like rounding the corners or anything like I do to make them a perfect match. Everything's got a sharp corner. Everything's got sharp corners. But they will seal up. This is from a roll of Felpro brand gasket paper. So, there's not much to this carburetor. It's quite simple. I love it. Love how simple it is. There's not a lot to put back together. Make sure it's nice and clean. Needle's in good shape. And I know the seat is also in good shape because when I had assembled this the other day, Thursday evening, and put it on the engine and got the engine to run off the carburetor, off its own fuel supply. After I assembled this, I checked to see if the needle and seat would leak. And I'll check again since it's been apart again. And show you guys in case, for those of you that don't know how to check that. I'm sure many of you do, but I'm sure there's also some that don't know how to check it. So, when this carburetor's upside down, it's not a lot of weight, but it's got the weight of the float pushing the needle against the seat. And you should be able to blow in here and no air go through. No air going through. Flew through. But if I open this, air should go through. Hear that, guys? It works. So, that's all there is to go in here, except for this seal here, which should probably be replaced. But I don't think it leaked before. So make sure to put it back in the same way it was before. You can tell which side. There's like a witness mark. To help it, make sure it seals up. So when I went inside, I spent some time with my dog too, Zeus, because earlier he was out here and he kept coming in here and nudging my hand while I was trying to work on this, and then I shooed him away and go, hey, go, get out of here. And I felt bad about it. He just wanted some of my attention. So after eating, I spent time just sitting on the couch with the wife and the dog, and that dog, he's very special to me. Like he's like literally my best friend. So yeah, I have to, make sure to give him the attention that he needs to. So, anyways, put this back on. And you want to make sure that the low side of the bowl, see, the low side is back here where the pivot point for the float, where the pin is. In case you did not know that. Nope. ½ inch. And make sure not to strip that out, or the whole carburetor's junk at that point. So when I was testing that engine to see if it would run, and if it would run okay, and if it would smoke and all that, one thing I did is this tab here, this little tab right here, I bent it in because it was not, there was no governor hooked up. And I needed it to be able to idle. If that throttle closes all the way, the engine shuts down. So I'm actually going to bend that back out now. Yeah. Lawson Power Products, Grafton, Wisconsin. Made in USA. Carburetor says 40, has a 41 cast into it. Okay, so that's done. By the way, I cleaned up a bunch of parts, you know, nice and clean. This was filthy before. And took the carbide scraper to all surfaces. They're all scraped and as smooth as a baby's bottom. So, I'm going to go ahead and get this put back together. Get these mated up. There is one thing that has been on my mind, though. I made this gasket here, but I noticed that this gasket is more than twice as thick. It's about 3 times the thickness. And I gotta wonder, you know, the air filter box is screwed, is mated to here. So this gasket thickness will affect the position of the air filter box. That air filter box lid, you know, you notice how the one side was like this? It was like there was a curve in it. Well, that goes up against the like the recoil cover, like the flywheel cover. And that's going to affect the position of that lid and the fitment against the, yeah. Huh. So I should probably either make like 2 more of these, or I should use this gasket. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this gasket, unless this is incorrect, but I doubt it. No, this is an OEM gasket. If this was a homemade gasket, somebody would not have taken the time to cut out the exact shape out here. They would have made it straight line across here like I did. For sure. So, I guess I'm going to use this, but I am going to use... excuse me, I'm going to use like a sealant on both sides of this gasket to ensure that it will seal up. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. This thing is like petrified. It's rock hard. Holy cow. Alright, anyway, sorry, I'm talking too much. I'm really tired, so I'm going to go find what sealant I want to use, and I will be right back. Alright, I am back. And one thing I did, also off camera, is I finished. This thing did not want to come clean. I soaked, and I scrubbed, and I soaked, and I scrubbed. This is the air filter box. It's finally clean. And I blew it out real good. And now it's going to sit for a bit. There's still a little bit of grime in there, actually. I'll have to get that, because that's after the air filter. I don't want that in there. See on my finger there? It's hard to see. Yeah. It's like really baked on or something. I don't know. Anyway. Got my sealant. This is a Permatex gasket maker. And this is fast drying and hard setting. And this is fuel rated. The cap's broke, so the top always dries out, and I gotta clear it out. But anyway, that over there. So I'm just gonna put, it doesn't need to go all the way out around the screw holes. I'm just gonna put a thin bead around here, and then the same on the intake, where the air and fuel mixture goes through. Come on. And kind of smear it around, make sure it's good. Kind of evenly spread. Looks like chocolate frosting. Kind of making me want to lick my fingers. I'll let you know how that goes. You know, it honestly doesn't even smell bad. It kind of has a sweet smell. It might taste good. Kind of doubt that it actually does taste like chocolate, but it might taste good. I don't recommend it. I'm not recommending anybody like go out and taste gasket makers. It's probably, it might kill you. So don't taste gasket makers. This is probably like 100% not necessary, but I like to make sure that there's no chance of a vacuum leak. So, oh wait, yeah. Sorry. Do as I say, not as I do. So, yeah, let's put this together. Trying to think. Okay, this side gets the bolts. The carburetor side gets the nuts. Okay. Had to look for a second. I thought something looked a little off. Come on. Grab a thread. There we go. Now, it takes a 3/8 wrench and a 7/16 wrench. The nut is 7/16. The bolt is 3/8. For whatever reason, they decided to do that. No, don't know. Maybe as a clearance thing. Because, like, for the intake, I don't know if a 7/16 would clear on that side. But regardless, that's what it takes. Now, this doesn't have to be crazy tight because I got that sealer in there. That's the nice thing about using like a sealant for these gaskets is, oops, wrong way. You don't have to make them real tight. The gasket maker does the work of sealing it up. I mean, you make it fairly tight, but not enough to like warp these tabs here on the gasket surface, on the flange. Yeah, there we are. And we have a little bit of squish coming out from that gasket maker. Just very little squish coming out. I don't know if you can see the little brown beads on either side of the gasket. That's what you want to see. I don't smear them around or wipe them off or anything. I just leave them right like that. It just it helps them to seal up. So, yep, I just leave it. So this is together now. Now comes the air filter box. Let me take a better look down in there. Yeah, I'm gonna get that cleaned out. It's not a lot, but I mean, shouldn't be any at all. Any grime in there at all. So I'm gonna get that, and then I'll bring you guys back. All right. I'll see you in just a bit. Okay, I lied. I'm tired. The next thing is not the air filter box. It is a... Ooh, sorry, you guys are shaking a little bit. Stop. All right. It's this plate here, and this part of the governor/throttle linkage. So, this goes on here, like so. trying to remember which goes. Okay, it goes like this. Does it go? No, this can only go one way. I took this part apart too long ago now. So, yeah. I'm trying to think. Okay. This screw technically does not go in yet, but I am going to put it in and just, you know, make it finger tight-ish. Except it's not wanting to go finger tight-ish. It's got a little crud or something in the hole. But I need it there. Nope, that's not even. There, I just need it to hold that plate for me. There. Now this can move like that. Why does that seem wrong? I know it's right. I can tell which way it goes by the witness marks in the paint on the part. That's weird. I don't know. But anywho, that is the way it goes. Now I'm going to take that screw back out. Even though we're technically not ready to put on the air filter box, not until it goes on the mower, I am going to go ahead and just assemble it so that all the parts are together and I can't possibly lose anything. Pretty much. That needs a little tweak. There. Just like that. So, oh, this has different screws. So the screws that I robbed from that other carburetor are not going to work here. So that means I really need to find the hardware that went with this carburetor. These are the screws that go with the later style. Let's see if I can put them there and you can see them kind of. The later style air filter box on the TVS carburetors. You can see they have a little, just above my fingertips there, they have like a little, there you can see it. It gets wider and it's smooth where it goes through the plastic of the air filter box. But look at how far that one has to go through. It's not like that, it's like that. So that's the predicament. So I have to find two longer screws that have this, I assume this same thread. Yeah, that same thread. Not cool. All right, well, that's nice. I wish I knew where I had put this hardware at. It's really pissing me off. Alright, well, I'm going to pause the video, and I'll bring you guys back at a later time when I figure something out. So, I just found the original hardware that... Hold on, let me get this camera to stop shaking. This camera mount is difficult to... Yeah, I need a better camera mount. Anyway, I just found the original hardware. It was, as I thought, I was pretty certain I left it in a container of some sort on this bench. Looked all over. And didn't realize that container was a Wisconsin engine piston head. I found all my missing original hardware. These are the screws. Much longer. Those are the screws. So anyways, that was just unnecessary. Okay, anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and put this together with this just so I don't lose anything. The screws or the gasket or just that I made or anything. Tomorrow I will worry about putting sealer on this after this goes on, which will be after this is fully assembled with the governor and everything connected on the engine. Screwdriver. Well, now, okay, so there's a screw that goes in through here. You can't really see it unless I bring you down here. But the screw hole in this air filter housing and the screw hole down below don't quite line up. So now I'm wondering if that gasket was even correct, that thick gasket. Now I'm starting to wonder if maybe it was supposed to have a thinner gasket. So I guess I'm going to have to take that back apart and redo that with the thinner gasket. I was wondering why I had such a thick gasket. So the spacing does matter, but it's supposed to have a more standard thickness gasket. So anyways, I'm going to do that off camera. This is done for video purposes. This is done. But yeah, anyways, frustrating. But at least I found my missing hardware. Anyways, oh, that's good enough. That'll be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video more than I did. Drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts. yeah, I'm tired. I'm losing my mind. Maybe it's the fumes in here. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not yet subscribed and you want to see more videos like this in the future, hit that subscribe button. Not that. I'm so tired. Hit that subscribe button to be notified of more video uploads in the future, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.